ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19, Estancia Lapacho map with me. And this is a continuation really from episode 8. I did say at the end of that video that I'd recorded far too much for the one video, so I would have to do a second video with the sort of the second half of it. So here we are. Just doing a quick delivery run to the harbour to deliver some more soybeans from our initial harvest of our fields 1 and 2, which we did in the previous video. And then I'm going to be getting on to doing some work today. Obviously I need to get some lime spreading done on my fields, and I need to get them seeded, or get the harvested fields cultivated and seeded. Now, I did purchase fields 4 and 5, I believe, in the last video. I'm not really sure at this point how I'm doing the editing. It might even be in this video when I buy them. I can't remember because of how the video has been split up. But I have got fields 4 and 5 purchased, but I am not going to be cultivating and seeding those at the same time. Basically, I want to stagger my fields a little bit to make it a bit easier for me as a solo farmer. I don't want to have a load of fields that all need harvesting at the same time, a load of fields that all need ploughing at the same time, or cultivating or seeding, because it's too much work and I don't have the equipment and the machinery. It takes too long for me to go around all the fields. So basically I've got fields 1 and 2 seeded, or I will have by the end of this video, and then what I'll do is I'll wait till the next in-game day before I cultivate and seed fields 4 and 5. That way fields 1 and 2 will have a day's growth head start on the other 2 fields, which means that hopefully I'll be able to stagger my harvesting. You know, fields 1 and 2 will need harvesting one day, fields 4 and 5 will then need harvesting the next day, and it just makes things a bit easier for me to manage. So that's how I plan on doing it. If it works out that way or not, we'll have to wait and see. But hopefully, that is how I plan to do it. I also plan to continue doing the taking contracts in the evenings off camera, and then when I come back at the start of each game day, I will show you what contracts I've done and how much I have earned from those contracts, just to be completely transparent, so no one thinks I'm cheating or manipulating the game in any way. You know, this is, you know, me truly farming and building up my account, because as I say, the ultimate goal is to hit that 10 million in-game cash to earn that lucrative achievement in Steam or game. So yes, that's the plan. I want to do it genuinely on this map. So I will be doing, as I say, I've got to do lime spreading on field 1. I'm going to do field 2 as well, even though it doesn't really technically need it. I'm going to do it so it's done. And then I'm going to go back and do field 14, even though it has already been seeded. I'm going to lime spread field 14 as well, to make sure that's done, even though I'm only going to grow grass on it, so I don't know if it technically needs lime, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the shop, and I'm going to hire and lease a new spreader, because obviously there's a bug or a problem with the spreader I've already got, where you can't unload it until it's empty and swap. So I'm just going to hire another spreader for the moment, so I can do the lime, and then I'll return it, and I'll probably hire a tractor as well, thinking about something that's a bit quicker than the Fiat that I've got. It's not going to be that much more expensive to hire a tractor and spreader, so I will do it. And then we'll get the as I say, the fields limed, ready for seeding and cultivating, and hopefully from that point on we'll be good. We'll get that done today. That'll be content of today's video, lime spreading and seeding. I'll probably do some time-lapsey speedy up bits in this video as well, because both the lime spreading and the seeding take quite a bit of time, and that's really what made the video so long, and why I've had to split the video up, because they're just too long. and I'll have to see how much I can condense the video down for this time, because even as I speak right now, I'm looking at about an hour and a half of footage, and I would really like to trim that down to under an hour, well under an hour if I can, because of how long the last video went. So I think we'll take a Valtra. The Valtra will be alright. 24 miles an hour top speed, decent horsepower, put some skinny wheels on it. I don't know if I need skinny wheels for lime spreading, but hey, I'll do it. I will give it a bit of an engine boost, I think, possibly, just to make sure, because I don't know how much that spreader will weigh when it's got a full tank of lime, or nearly. I don't know how much lime I'm going to need, actually. How much lime am I going to need? I'll buy a couple of bags here at the store, I think. And if I need any more, it will be easier for me to go to the lime fill point, the sell point on the map. And I believe it's actually a bit cheaper if you buy it from there anyway. On this map, it's ideal to go to the lime station to get your lime, because it's right bang smack at the top of field 6, in between field 6 and field 7, which is obviously right near your farm. On some of the other maps, like the Ravenport map and the Felsborough map, the lime sell point might not be located ideally for your farms, which makes going there to get your lime refill maybe not as efficient, because you're using obviously your equipment to get there and back. So you're putting wear on your vehicle and your spreader, travelling there, travelling back, and obviously you'll be using up your fuel. So on certainly the Estancia Lapacho map, definitely use the sell point on the map rather than buying bags of fertiliser and lime, because it's cheaper to buy in bulk from the sell point. And obviously if you wanted to really technically game the system because of how you can at the moment, and if you wanted to maybe manipulate your bank balancing game a bit, you would buy your lime from the sell point for cheap, use most of it on your fields, what you've got remaining unload, and then sell back to the store at store price and make a profit. But I'm not going to encourage people using glitches and bugs and exploits in the game to make money. He says that when he thinks about the contract system in game and how I've been manipulating that a bit with the equipment leasing. But I'll probably discuss that more in length at the beginning of the next video, when I'm reviewing the contracts that I'll have done in the evening between this video and the start of the next video, because there is a very good thing you can do with that, with the contract system and the equipment. But as I say, you'll have to tune into the next video for that juicy tidbit of information and my handy little tips and tricks. So anyway, we're going to go back, we're going to line the fields, get them done, which will then improve our next yield. We'll get a boost. I think is it 15% for lime? If you field lime, you get 15% on your yield, or you don't lose 15%. So it's only really weeds. I've got to make sure I obviously I fertilise when I seed, because my cultivator seeder has fertilising function. So I've only got to fertilise at growth, at the first or second growth stage, to get my full fertilisation bonus. So then it's just a case of making sure, obviously, then I take care of weeds if weeds pop up. And at this moment, I'm guaranteed 100% yield on my crops, because at this point in time, I've not had to plough and worry about ploughing the fields. But I assume, perhaps after my next harvest, I will have to do it, because I've harvested one field already. Field 1's been harvested twice now in game, so I'm assuming that field 1 will want ploughing after my next harvest, because I think it's every 3 harvests you have to plough. So in which case I'll probably plough field 2 at the same time, just to save argument, because otherwise field 2 will want ploughing after its next harvest. And if I'm going to lease a plough to do field 1, I might as well do field 2 whilst I've got the equipment. And then obviously field 4 and 5 will want ploughing as well down the road once I've done sufficient harvest on there. But anyway, we'll get the lime spread on the fields, and then we'll go do some seeding. It's a nice little tractor, this, the Valtra. I do like the Valtra tractors in game. I like the fact that you can customise the colours. It's pretty cool. You can have different colours, and I like to colorise my tractors towards what sort of job they're doing, so I can just as a quick visual reference know what a tractor's purpose and function is, why I bought that tractor. I know, that's the tractor for ploughing, and oh, that's the tractor for sowing, oh, that's the tractor for spreading, you know, because you do end up with a lot of tractors after a few hours in game. Right, I'm going to do the time-lapsey speedy up bit now then, so you can have some funky music for a few minutes, and whilst we finish the spreading, and we'll get on with that, and you'll love it. And when I do the time-lapsey speedy up bit, I increase the video speed by 5 times in my editing software. So this is 5 times normal speed, or real-time speed. I will probably go a bit faster when I come to do the spreading. Not the spreading, the seeding, because that takes so much longer to do. Obviously, the cultivator seeder operates a hell of a lot slower than the lime spreader. But I'm surprised at how quickly I've got through the lime. I'm using about 2,000 litres, or that, yeah, about 2,000, just under 2,000 litres a row, I think. So, depending on how many rows I've got to do on the field, that's how much lime I'm going to need. So I'm going to need to order some more lime. I've got, what, 6,000 litres or 4,000? It's only going to give me a couple of rows. I'd have been better off filling the tank full. This isn't going to make it. We're not going to get to the whole field done with this amount of lime. And especially as I want to go back and do field 14 as well. Make sure we've got that limed. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to get to the end, I don't think. I'm going to have to make another pit stop. But that sell point, like I say, it's in a great location for this farm and the fields. You know, by the time you've bought field 6, field 7 and 8, it's prime location. It's going to be really useful to fill it up. It saves me buying a fill point, actually. I've got the seed fill point and the solid fertilizer fill points down there on the farm in the silos, but I'm not going to need to buy a lime one unless there's any actual benefit to doing so, which I would have to look into. I don't know what price the refill stations charge in game for all their contents, but we'll get a load more. We'll finish that field. We'll finish off field 2, and then we'll go do field 14, and then we can move on to the seeding. Field 14 should hopefully be seeded or nearly seeded at this point. I think I had a worker doing field 14. Tell you what, that little slope on the end of the field is going to be a pain in the backside. I've said this already. Once I've got a few more fields bought, I will be getting the roller to take off the ends of the fields, make the fields a little bit shorter, keep the width, but narrow them in at the top and bottom, so I've got more room to turn equipment round. And make sure we don't have any issues, because one of the things I notice with the AI, especially the workers, once you start getting some of the big machinery like the cultivators and plows, they really can't turn those round. They have a real struggle turning those around. For whatever reason, they stop really short of the end of the field, and then they try and reverse and get completely tangled up in the equipment. And from that point, they're in trouble. Because then they just end up basically doing like a reverse donut. And they just keep going around in circles, spending your money and not doing anything until you notice that they've glitched out, and you interject and put the vehicle right again. Something I noticed when I was doing the contracts, some of the contract work, when took some cultivating jobs, I thought I would, hire the workers, because obviously they're more capable of driving in a straight line than me, but I was having to interject at the end of every single row because they couldn't turn around. They were just completely incapable of turning around on the field. I've got a little bit of lime left here, so I'm just filling in a little bit that I missed, apparently. And then we'll take this back to the store and get it returned, so we don't incur too many leasing costs, leasing fees. And we'll pick up our own tractor and trailer, which I left there in the parking bay, and we'll take that back and we'll put the trailer on the silo so I know where it is when I next need it. The case we'll put back into the store, into the shed, so I know where that is for when I next need it. And then we will get we'll carry on with the seeding. As I say, 2 fields of seed. Not got to worry too much about that. We'll return those. Done. And here we go. You jump back in the case. I do like this little tractor, little case. At some point, I will, if I remember right, if I remember to do it, I will bring it down to the shop and see if we can put a front loader attachment on it. Because I reckon this tractor will be very useful for when I'm doing animals and stuff, for feeding the animals and keeping their pens clean. If I've got like a bucket attachment on the front loader, it's probably better. I know you can't put one on the Fiat, so this is probably my best bet. Putting it on this tractor. I won't put one on the Fendt because that tractor is overkill for feeding animals. It's far too big and powerful for using to feed and look after animals. So we'll keep that as our cultivator stroke seeder. I may have to look at buying another one, cultivator seeder, or a just standalone cultivator, because only having the combination machine does kind of limit you a bit getting work done. Whilst my seeder is currently at work with the worker on field 1, I can't do any other work on any of the other fields. I could be cultivating fields 4 and 5 at this point in time if I had another cultivator, another piece of equipment, which might help things a little bit. But it's knowing how much to outlay at the start in equipment, because obviously I've got to get a mower, so I've got to get a mower and either a baler or harvesting wagon, a collection wagon, so I can pick up the grass that I mow from field 14, because obviously if I'm going to do sheep I'm probably going to do first for the wool, because they're a bit easier to keep. Then I'll probably look at either cows or pigs, depending on which of those is easiest to keep and manage, because I've never done any animal husbandry or farming in Farming Simulator. Didn't do it in FS17, and I've not done it in FS19. Nor have I done like logging, forestry work. There are a few trees on this map. There are a few trees dotted about, like the field at the top of 5 and 6 there. That's pretty tree-ish. And along field 29, there's a field there which has got quite a lot of long sort of palmy trees. I suppose the palm trees. So chop them down, get logs out of them. Could be a way of making a bit of money, depending obviously on how expensive the equipment is. To buy or lease, or unless I start planting like poplars or stuff, it's probably not worth investing and buying machinery. And again, tree planting is not something I've done ever in a farming sim game, so whether it's worth planting some trees somewhere on this map and seeing what that's like, whether there's any fields that shout out as being suitable for planting trees, I don't know. I probably wouldn't do it on my main farm. I'd probably do it on a field that's kind of out of the way a bit. Maybe field 9 on this map would be a nice place to plant some trees next to the railway line there. I don't know if there's a handy collection point. Whether I could do it in a place that's, you know, right next door to if there's a field right next to a sawmill somewhere, because there's 2 sawmills on the map. So maybe there's an area there for me. I'll have to have a look into it. Obviously we're going to get canola planted on this field. I think I did barley on the first one, on field 1. That seems a bit daft. Not sure why I planted barley. There must have been a reason for it at the time as I was recording this, and I had an idea for it, but now as I've come to edit this video and I'm recording the commentary in addition, because at the time I was recording this, someone in my house decided to start playing their stereo a little bit loud, and obviously the microphone, I had to switch my mic off because it would have captured the audio in the background, and I would have been hit with copyright strikes and claims and stuff on the video. So for this whole video in this episode, there was no commentary recorded at the time of recording, so I'm having to do it now in post. So I'm kind of just sat here watching the video, talking to you guys, which is a bit different. I normally like to record the commentary live as I'm playing it, so you get my thoughts and feelings at the time as it happens, so you get like my you know, actual reactions to everything. So it's a bit different to record the audio like this, and then obviously if there's any discrepancies in the audio volume between recording it when I'm recording the gameplay to recording it now in post, I do apologise. I know when people are watching the videos in a playlist from one and binge watching the episodes in a playlist, it can be a little bit annoying if the volume in videos goes up and down between videos, but it hopefully shouldn't do too much. It shouldn't be too bad, because this is hopefully the same sound settings I use for the gameplay recording should apply in Sony Vegas. I think should apply in Vegas or Magic's Vegas, whatever it is now. Just call it Vegas. I can't remember who owns it. But yeah, it'd be nice to get this done, and because I've done the time-lapse speedy up bit again for the seeding, I've actually managed to shorten the video down that much, that we're actually sitting under 30 minutes. So this is going to be like a little brief video, which is probably brilliant if you've sat through episode 8, which I think was just slightly over an hour, or around about an hour. You'll probably be very thankful that this video is a lot shorter, and that's what I kind of want to do. In future, I think if I do a video that does run quite long, I mean, I ideally want my videos about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, around that mark. I think I've said this in the past, I prefer all my videos to be about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, you know, very similar to like TV shows that I watch. If they do go a bit long and we end up hitting like the hour mark, I will try to make the next video a little bit shorter to compensate for that. Because obviously if someone's had to commit an hour of their time to watch a video, I kind of want to reward you and thank you for that by making sure you don't have to do that regularly. And if I can give you a few minutes back in the next video, I will try my best to do so. Because obviously I really appreciate people who sit down and give up their time to watch my videos. It does, you know, does mean a lot for people to watch the videos, which is why, you know, I would like it if people would leave their likes and maybe the occasional comment, just to, you know, just to let me know that you are out there and, you know, you are watching the videos, just so I can then respond to you and thank you personally, you know, for doing so. We're about to get this field done, and we've done quite well with our time today. You know, we started pretty early in the morning. We've got the harvest done. We've got the liming done, and we've cultivated and reseeded. So, you know, I've managed to do all that in a single day. Single day, you know. My father deserves a cup of tea at this point. A bit of a break before I put him on the night shift doing some contract work. And as I say, when I start the next video, it will be just after about 6 o'clock in the morning. Probably be about 6:30 time when it's nice and light and sunny. And I'll do a quick recap of the contract work I've done in the evening, and that'll be that. So this is probably a good point as any then to obviously say thank you very much for watching the video. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you're enjoying the series so far. If you could do me a favour and leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed it, and if you've got any comments, questions, feedback, anything like that for me, please leave a comment in the section below. I will endeavour to reply to it. I will certainly do my best on a series like this to reply to it. And if you've not already done so and you would like to help me out even more, I would appreciate if you could smash that subscribe button, because that helps my channel to grow. So I will be back again very soon with some more Farming Simulator 19 content, but for now, from me, it is goodbye.